going to be a special night here in Indianapolis. The title game is drawing near. Wisconsin and Duke for the championship. Coming up on CBS.
Night before the championship game, I can't sleep.
You have no idea of the significance.
Geez, you're just so naive.
I didn't really know too much about what to expect.
How old were you when you got your first chance to do something that could change your life forever?
Man, I just turned maybe 18 years old.
I was 19 years old, and I had no idea what I was doing.
You have no understanding of what history is when you're 20 years old.
Nobody thought we could win, so we had to shock the world.
You can beat anybody on any given night.
Urban Johnson leads Michigan State to the first ever national championship.
But everybody thought it was a shot.
Whitburn.
It was a pass.
They won it on the dot.
And I just seen Hakeem come out of nowhere.
Syracuse is your national champion. Duke has won its first national championship.
Here we have one time in our life we can go out there and impact history.
Now, it's another kid's turn.
Feeling no remorse, feeling like my head was forced. It is an awesome feeling in Indianapolis. From the bottom to the top of the pop. The Final Four underway. Straight off the block. Come on, yes, sir. Brush your shoulders off. Andy gets it. Winslow. Brush your shoulders off. Delivery. Fire the big fella. Dirt up your shoulder.
This is what you dream of as a kid. The moment of winning the national championship.
For me, it's just trying to not let that moment get too big.
I mean, you try to keep it off your mind a little bit. You can't let it get to you. You just got to be yourself.
Our slogan is let's get it. Let's get it. And we know that we can do anything.
There's never been a more relevant time to make people believe than the national title game.
We're 40 minutes away from doing it.
Play with no regrets.
It wasn't our goal to make it to this game. It was our goal to win it.
It's our moment.
They don't want it as bad as we do.
Wow. The cook runs the kitchen. Gaines puts up a three. You talk about big shot. There it is. Tonight, Duke, too talented, too strong. 20-point Blue Devil victory. On Wisconsin with an unbelievable drive to the championship game.
At 18 years old, I didn't really understand what the word legacy meant.
To win the national championship. That's a dream.
The sense of pride, accomplishment.
This is something that can never be taken away.
Tonight, these kids can change their life forever. Trust me, I know.
Indianapolis, where yes, indeed, legends will be made, and history is about to occur inside here in Indianapolis for the Wisconsin Badgers and the Duke Blue Devils. What a tournament it has been, and we're left with these two spectacular teams for the title tonight. And again, hello friends, Jim Nance, Grant Hill, Bill Raftery, Tracy Wolfson. They maybe don't understand all the things about history, but man, it can be a life-changing event here tonight.
Jim, this is a life-changing moment. For me personally, it was the highlight, the most memorable moment of my career. What an exciting night, championship night.
Every kid dreams about this in his backyard, a chance to be here.
It really is, isn't it? I got to tell you, we've already talked about Kaminsky and Okafor. We've talked about the coaches. I want to hear from you, too, about the other players to watch on the floor tonight.
Well, Wisconsin is definitely not a one-man team, and Frank the Tank is going to need help from his guys. Of course, Decker takes and makes big shots all through the tournament, and his running mate, who I think is the X factor, Nigel Hayes, has got to be big and leave his mark on this game.
And of course, the jury is no longer out. Justice is served. This kid's had sub-tournament, solid play, making threes, getting to the rim, and how about the leadership qualities of the little guy? Small in stature, big of heart, one of the great leaders in college basketball.
And how about the leadership from the bench? These two coaches, just giants. Coach K, Bo Ryan, Tracy Wolfson with more on the Wisconsin head coach.
Well, that's right, Jim. A win tonight would certainly add to Bo Ryan's coaching legacy, but he doesn't look at it that way. I spoke with him earlier, and he said he wants to win tonight, not because it's going to define him as a coach, but he wants to win for these players. He wants to see their faces dream. And then I asked him, what did he tell his players right before they took the court? And he said, do you want to just say you've played in a national championship, or do you want to say you've won one? Jim?
Nice little play on words there that will get your attention for sure. Wisconsin and Duke, the anthem is coming up. And we'll be back to Indianapolis after this message and a word from your local station. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad. The presentation of the colors is provided by the Joint Services Color Guard. And now, please welcome the U.S. Army Herald Trumpets from the U.S. Army Band Pershing's Own, joined by musicians from Ball State University, Indiana University, and Purdue University for the performance of our national anthem.
Coverage of the NCAA Men's National Championship game is sponsored by Bud Light, Buffalo Wild Wings, Buick, and by Coca-Cola Zero.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Championship Night. Making their first championship game appearance since 1941. Let's welcome the Big Ten champion, Wisconsin Badgers. Decker pulling all the cards out. Koenig, an open three, and it rattles home. Frank the Tank delivering. Nigel Hayes.
He can knock it down from downtown.
Kaminsky off the glass.
Step back, Jack, and
Decker hits the three.
And you talk about big shots.
On Wisconsin to the championship game.
We are Wisconsin. Go Badgers.
Starting tonight for the Wisconsin Badgers at forward, a 6'8" sophomore from Toledo, Ohio, number 10, Nigel Hayes. At forward, a 6'9" junior from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, number 15, Sam Decker. At forward, a 7-foot senior from Lisle, Illinois, number 44, Frank Kaminsky. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from La Crosse, Wisconsin, number 24, Bronson Koenig. And at guard, a 6'4" senior from Port Washington, Wisconsin, number 21, Josh Gasser. appearing in their 11th national championship game tonight. Here are the four-time national champion Duke Blue Devils. Here comes Duke.
This is where Winslow is dangerous.
Up back in by Okafor.
Look at this sentiment.
Right back with it. Over to Winslow and another Duke touchdown.
And here comes Jones, the big fella, large.
Okafor.
The hammer.
Wow. 20-point Blue Devil victory. And Duke is in the title game.
We are Duke. Let's get it, squad.
Starting tonight for the Duke Blue Devils, at forward, a 6'6" freshman from Houston, Texas, number 12, Justice Winslow. At center, a 6'11" freshman from Chicago, Illinois, number 15, Jahlil Okafor. At guard, a 6'1" freshman from Apple Valley, Minnesota, number 5, Tyus Jones. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, number 13, Matt Jones. And at guard, a 6'2" senior from Washington, D.C., number 2, Quinn Cook. And introducing the head coaches for Wisconsin in his 14th season for the Badgers, Bo Ryan. And for Duke in his 35th season for the Blue Devils, Mike Krzyzewski.
Well, what do you think, guys? You ready for a little basketball?
It'll be a fun night indeed. Duke, Wisconsin. Doesn't get any better than that.
Hold on. We got a little action coming.
Here we go, baby. We'll have it underway when we come back. CBS in a moment. Wisconsin and Duke. Duke gets to wear the home uniforms. They were the better overall seed coming into the tournament. Both, of course, on the 1 line. And, guys, your last thought before tip-off.
It's going to be all about tempo. Who can dictate tempo is going to win tonight.
And I believe the doubling of the box by Duke is very important. Can Kaminsky find people? And also how, with the automatic switching, Wisconsin moves their offense.
DeRosa, Stevens, Driscoll draw the plum assignment, all 3 of whom have officiated in 3 previous Final Fours. Here we go. What promises to be a special night.
And right now, Jim Nance, Grant Hill. Wisconsin goes minute.
And as expected, Frank Kaminsky on Okafor. That's the matchup we're going to want to watch all night. And Frank the Tank neutralized the big fella.
And big for Wisconsin. Don't let the guards penetrate. Thomas Terrific and Cook as well. Or Jones, excuse me.
It's Cook driving. Left hand over Decker. What a shot by the senior captain.
How alert was he, knowing the size of Decker? A little bite and deliver.
And a little early pressure here for Duke. As we look down at the other end, anxious to see what they do with the matchup with the big guys, and it will be the same at the other end.
Now, this is what Bo said. They're going to do a lot of screening with Kaminsky. Good, clean look.
Decker comes up well short off the floor. Matt Jones. Decker's had a brilliant tournament, though, so far. Winslow with the 3.
They're going for it early here.
Early, but that's what Duke wants, to get up and down, make it a track meet. Coach Okafor guarding Kaminsky out on the perimeter. You're going to see Frank out there a lot tonight, working the big fella away from the basket.
There's that pick and pop. He can't cover, and look at the closeout.
Take the 3. Now shut down. Back out to Gasser, and he gets it back. Kaminsky and Okafor.
Loves that
toe-to-toe, back outside. Kaminsky, Hill on Chad, and he hits it.
Just can't cover him that deep. It's going to be tough for Okafor. You may see an exchange eventually if Jefferson comes back in.
So we might even see a little Winslow on Kaminsky, but meanwhile, with calls going the other way, it's a charge on Okafor.
And that's a great read right there by Kaminsky, knowing Okafor likes to go left when he puts the ball on the floor. Having the presence of mind to move those feet and get the right position. Okafor cannot afford to pick up another call. But look at Kaminsky. Is he not fired up or what? He wants this bad.
Koenig's been solid with the basketball ever since he started earlier in the year. Key, don't turn it over. They don't foul. They are basic.
Koenig did not have a single turnover against Kentucky. There's Hayes.
Nice.
Gosser to the spot. Outside Decker, back of the rim. Tapped around. Okafor controlled the tap to Tyus. And Jones is going to take it to the hole and put it up. It bounces out. Put back by Okafor.
And that's what happens when you can get to the rim. Tyus Jones in their early encounter was extremely effective if you don't miss. The big guy, looming large for an early, send it in. Well, this kid is active, and boy, can he deliver the punch.
And Raph, this is twice early in the game. The guards getting into the paint. You talked about that in the pregame. You got to keep them out of the paint, as Gosser looks like he might have had a cut in his eye, or on his eye.
It looks like maybe a little bit of a
poke in the eye.
Scrape, yeah. Whether it's...
As Hayes missed, and then that's where he took the hit. Inadvertent by Winslow. Gosser somehow, that was some play that almost led to a three-point basket. Decker had the open look. He's had 2 shots from 3 already.
And that's his game. Anything you can do. And this is the luxury right now of Jackson being back. He got his legs the second half the other night, and now ready. A great rotation.
Right you are, Bill. He missed 19 games to Trayvon Jackson, but they needed some depth at guard position. They got him back just in time. They got him at the regionals. He went 12 minutes the other night on the floor against the Wildcats and was productive.
Nice job by Justice helping out. Boy, they got Hayes.
Hayes can't find the handle, though. And Matt Jones takes it away for Duke. Winslow, so tough in the open court. Kaminsky able to shield Okafor and get the rebound.
And he's running to the rim. They're pretty effective. The little slap back. Look at the run out.
Kaminsky up and over Okafor. Back of the rim.
And right now, this pace and this tempo favors Duke. This is what they want to do. Get out and run. Get easy baskets in transition.
Nice catch on that delivery.
Short with the shot. Jalil.
Good defense by Kaminsky there.
And he's a little tired because of that pace. All the ball screens you're going to see. Jackson turns the corner, experience, and give. Woo!
Oh, yes. Right in the right spot there is Decker.
Jimmy's kid knows how to play. Takes big shots during his career for this team. A gamer.
He had his career high in that early season matchup against Duke with 25 in that game, but it was won by the Blue Devils. Cook now has to go back out with it.
I go inside. Vinci a little fatigued. Tendency to foul when you're that way.
Jumper, Jones. And he was the best player on the floor that night for Duke was Tyus Jones. He called it his best performance of the season. He had 22, leading them to that 10-point victory.
And he's got to be aggressive tonight for the Blue Devils. Looking for his game, not being such a facilitator, but being aggressive with the ball.
In that game, he had 4 assists. Look at this kid handle.
On the blocks with Hayes. Power move, doesn't go.
Look at this competition. I think it was off Koenig. Good call.
We've had 4 early lead changes. First break, Duke up a point.
The ability to penetrate and get to the rim. The big fella with the body block. The little knockdown. Tyus, big of heart, big of game.
Bob Knight's Indiana team, the only Big Ten team to beat an ACC squad in a championship match. As we were going to break, Gosser hustled to the locker room. Let's get a report from Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot. At first, alleged it was a contact in that right eye that got stuck. It was really difficult for them to get it out. They were able to get it out, but it seemed as though there was something still left in that eye. He was in a lot of pain. The athletic trainer tried to get it out, so they took him back into the locker room where he remains. Also, Quinn Cook jammed right finger. They popped it back into place. He's good to go. Jim?
Okay, and Cook's got the ball right now. They've got Okafor sitting down. Plumlee replaces him in the pivot.
And he's played well, and it would have been a good spot to rest Kaminsky, I thought, too. See if Plumlee can do a good job on him.
Here's Jones.
Nice pass. Ooh, tough heat. Too much heat, maybe.
Right off the fingertips.
Right idea. Duke, a different offensive team when Okafor's not there, but a lot of driving and penetrating from the perimeter, from the guards. They're going to have to be aggressive with Okafor on the bench.
Plumlee unable to grab hold of that one. Indiana kid from outside of Indianapolis, from Warsaw. Here in this city, his older brothers won a championship with Duke back in 2010.
He does a much better job on ball screens on Kaminsky. Kaminsky's going to have to loosen him up with the bounce.
Mismatch now. Matt Jones on Kaminsky.
Well, look at the help by Justice and the communication.
Hayes from the wing gets to three to go.
And you mentioned the X factor. He was free in the post a few times. If he can make that outside shot, what a boom.
Matt Jones. Decker able to cut him off. And now it's Winslow.
I love this matchup of Hayes on Winslow. Two athletes, two competitors battling out there.
Jackson on Jones is key, too. He does a great job keeping him out of the lane.
Plumlee with 5 to shoot. Hook shot, no. Decker pulls it down. The only man in the area.
Use all the floor. Nice cut.
It really spreads you out. Work you around.
Look at this blow by.
Right around Plumlee, and he's fouled on the shot. He's upset he didn't make the shot.
How about that? That size, the agility to put it on the deck, and Plumlee really reaching for the stars here. The blow by the big fella, number 44, to the tin. And how about that little whack at the end? Nothing else you can do.
His footwork is just amazing.
That it is.
Makes him the player he is. Tomorrow night, Notre Dame and UConn square off in the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship. For more information, go to ncaa.com. Dukin has come onto the floor. Meanwhile, coming back to the bench area is Gasser.
And Frank Kaminsky, just so many problems because he shoots like a guard. He handles like a guard. And he gets those bigs out there, and he can go by him. So, tough task for the Blue Devils trying to contain Big Frank the Tank.
And Jim, that's why they go into Okafor inside. You got to make him work on this defensive end. Punish with that big body.
Okafor set for about 2 minutes. Winslow, top of the key. And boy, has his outside game developed as this tournament's marched on.
He sure has. You can't go under and hide. He'll drill it.
Gasser and Decker will be checking in on the next whistle as Jackson swings it out to Dukin, and the senior is able to knock down the three.
And that's what Jackson does. He can turn the corner, get into the paint, and create for his teammates.
Well, what an asset to play with this guy left. You got to make him go the other way.
Bounces out, though, and it's staying at this end.
D.A. Dukin, just get those puppies organized. Dribble drive. How about this? Some nylon from deep. 6-10. Able to convert. Tough closeout for Jefferson.
I tell you, when they get him started early, he can be an X factor, too. We've seen him come up with some big games as Gasser's back in there again.
Nice
Decker also, and that's all about Okafor once they set that up.
And boy, Cook is so good at curling, finding, and delivering.
Jackson outside. Quick give back now here to Hayes.
And he can really be forceful and strong if they come double. They got the nickel dimer banging inside.
Jefferson.
But for both teams tonight, it's been about driving to the basket. Cook drawing so many defenders. Might be the easiest basket Okafor is going to have all night. But keeping the guards out of the lane is going to be the theme for both teams.
And Jackson's really been solid with his dribble and find. This is tough right here, I think. When they come, look at that pump.
Trying to get Okafor to commit, maybe even pick up a second foul. Grayson Allen on the court now for Duke as Decker comes back out. Jackson driving. 12 on 12 on Winslow. Nice defense. He lost control of it. Trying to do too much. Here's Allen driving in on Kaminsky. And the freshman from Jacksonville is on the board. He had 9 big points against Michigan State Saturday.
He is maybe one of the most athletic kids out on the floor, but that gap defense that time, everybody's staying at home. Terrific, playing the passing lane.
Jackson again. Blocked. Oops. And that's off Duke.
How about that hustle?
And Justice Winslow on defense, getting it done. 2 possessions in a row, causing Jackson to turn it over, and Grayson Allen getting out in the open court. They're going to need him to continue to be big tonight. How about the concentration, the athleticism to finish?
Winslow with 2 blocks in this game as they pull Jackson on the Wisconsin side and return Koenig, who's handling it now.
They love to keep Kaminsky outside when Oker is on the floor. Everybody can do some damage on dribble drives and find him. That's his favorite move. Nice cut.
Decker unable, though, to get hold of it. And Duke has the takeaway. 3rd turnover by the Badgers, who commit the fewest in the land.
You get the feeling they've been well scouted, both teams. They know what everybody's going to do. Decker great without the ball.
Allen now able to penetrate. Tough angle. But he'll be shooting free throws out of the break.
How about this pace? Both teams getting up and down, wanting it, giving it their all. Should be a close one all night, Coach.
You got it.
Attention basketball fans, your TV is about to pour you a Coke Zero. Get ready to Shazam the next Coke Zero commercial you see. As we're going to break, the foul was on Gasser, and that's the first foul by the Badgers tonight. Sends Allen to the line for a pair. The freshman who was the first of that decorated class to commit to Duke out of the Providence School in Jacksonville, and he spent his first 2 years at the high school level just hoping to do something to get noticed by Duke. He wanted to play for the Blue Devils.
Remember Mike telling us the other day he's going to be a great player as the year progresses, no question about it. But right now, I think Duke, as you mentioned, Grant, the speed of the game, it's thrown off Wisconsin. Once they get to their half court, they're rushing, they're fumbling.
You're right, Coach. Wisconsin's 1 of 6 on 2-point shots. It just seems a little out of rhythm offensively. They got to settle down, work the clock, be deliberate, methodical. That's how they play.
You guys saw J.J. Watt, a remarkable defender for the Houston Texans, a proud Badger. As Decker.
Ooh,
back by Jukin.
Overhelp. Opens up the dive. Dewey can do.
Tell him, Jukin hitting that first shot from 3. He could be a big part of this as Okafor is able to win that battle.
Got to keep going there, Jim. And just pound it in. He's loading up real low.
Right now, Tyus Jones on Decker. The Duke switches so much. Takes you out of your rhythm a little bit.
And Jim, you see the ball moving more right now with this team. Passing, cutting.
Now they've got 8 to shoot. Here's Kaminsky. They don't mind running it down. Put back, tapped up and in by Decker.
And in the first game on Saturday night, Wisconsin in the first half had 7 offensive rebounds. Duke has got to block out against these Badgers.
Winslow. Pretty. Oh, that's going to be a foul on the Badgers.
You got to go inside to the big fella. Okafor is so big and so strong and can finish with ease, especially when he catches it there on the block. And once again, blocking out second chance points. Wisconsin so good at crashing the boards and converting on those opportunities.
First foul on Dukin. So Winslow, who had a 19-9 game against the Spartans in Duke's 20-point win on Saturday. To shoot 2. After the game, well, a lot of people set their sights on Augusta as the Masters tournament comes to CBS for the 60th time. Stay connected all week long Visit Masters.com, download the official Masters app, and follow the Masters on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Justice Winslow gets them both.
And Okafor gets the blow, and I believe Kaminsky the blow as well. That gives him a little bit of an opportunity. Good match.
Second time that Okafor got it a little rest. First time for Kaminsky.
A little bit of a zone in the back here. Justice not playing anybody. And all the dribble drives have opened up the offensive rebounding.
Dukin's got a size advantage over Tyus Jones. Does not take the three. Decker.
All the automatic switching.
That's going to go against Duke.
They got a block on the pass.
On Winslow.
But, Coach, you were right. Justice Winslow is kind of acting like a free safety back there on defense and was in a position there to help try to get the charge. But his energy and activity, he can guard his man and also be there for help. And Winslow's got to be careful with his foul trouble moving forward.
And Jim, this defensive scheme, Mike always comes up with something. The earlier game, automatic switching, any back screen, big to small, small to big, it didn't bother them. And once again, Justice just zoning up. I think Hayes could do some damage against them. They do get it to him.
Yep. Over Winslow, who makes the defensive play after picking up his first foul for a moment before that. Look at the angle executed by Cook.
And you notice no foul, though, to give him a three-point play. I just love the way Winslow and Cook attacking that open floor. Reckless abandon. Once again, Justice zoning up. Nice cut to the box.
Gasser down low. And blocked this time by Jefferson. And it's going to stay with the Badgers. And look out as Cook goes sliding off the end of the court.
You talk about leadership, the activity. We mentioned the contribution the other night. Jefferson always the role player. Optimum performance, blocking shots, open offensive rebounds and putbacks.
13 to shoot. Duke has already blocked 4 shots in the first 11 and a half.
3 of those by Justice Winslow, the anchor there for their defense. Brings so much to the table for the Blue Devils on both sides.
Koenig got fouled on the shot, and he's holding his hand.
A nice pull-up, good solid performance by this kid all during the course of the year.
Foul is on Tyus Jones, his first 15 foul.
A little nickel dimer, but that's enough to throw you off, even a great performer like you.
Kaminsky wasn't out for long. I thought they might keep him out until the under-8, but he returns for Duke. And Koenig, who's such a superb free throw shooter, 83%, misses the first. Coming off a 12-point game against Kentucky.
And Jim, Okafor in the game now, too. Any little ball screen on the wing, let him roll to the rim, or just load up low. Put the pressure on Kaminsky.
And Wisconsin is elected to play him straight up. No help when Okafor is down there on the block. They trust Kaminsky to play without fouling against the big fella.
Winslow off the side of the backboard.
Great balance by Duke. I think they've been over-helping on penetration.
Pull up, Koenig. Came up short with that. Must have been feeling it. Didn't have the answer. Now under 8. Duke in front by 4.
Koenig did not look over to the bench. I think he would have had a little gaze by Bo.
You don't think Bo was happy about that position?
No, not at all. And Bo knows generally. Turn and go. Get away from him. There you go.
There it is. Oof. Short off the drop step move. Wisconsin at this end.
The early ball screen pick and pop.
Shooting 33%, the Badgers. Again, the most efficient team in the tournament coming in. And that's another foul. That's going to be number 2 on Winslow. You can see the Blue Devils doing some business in the paint. 12 points plus 4 blocks. Let's talk about the matchup. Kaminsky and Okafor. What have you seen?
Early on, Okafor was not getting out, and that's dangerous because Big Bank Frank is money from downtown.
And how about the big fella, Lumen? So large. The body weight controlled. He can just overpower, eat you up in a low block. And during commercial, you were saying Frank not looking for shot. He may be the best shooting big man that passes up shots. He's not a threat. I think he can get a lot of good looks out there.
I agree. I think he's passed up 2 or 3 threes. He's got to let it fly. So Okafor, keep him honest.
Hayes at the line for 2. And again, going to the break. We mentioned Winslow picked up his second, so he sits. Jefferson's out there. Critics call Academy Award winner Patricia Arquette and CSI Cyber the perfect combination. Don't miss the new hit drama Wednesday at 10, 9 Central. Only CBS.
And you know, Wisconsin's missed some free throws. 3 for 12 at 2-point attempts. I'm wondering if they're a little nervous. I know they're an experienced team, but there's nothing like the big stage of championship night.
Yeah, they're 2 out of 6 at the line.
There's that dribble handoff, and he gets right to the box and loads up and banks. Good job by Frank Kaminsky.
With Jefferson out there, Nigel Hayes will try to muck things up and help Big Frank on Okafor.
You know what I just with Okafor? He should bust in the other box when the ball's on one side.
Go up. Oh, what a shot.
I think they're saying, too, he was looking for 3. They tried to help on the passing lane.
Cook, who made over 100 threes on the season. They rule it a 2 on the floor. Decker underneath. That's blocked by Jefferson. A 5th block for the Blue Devils. As Jones takes it. Boy, he hesitated. And that's a 5th rebound for Kaminsky.
And you're right. You think a little bit when you hesitate. Just got to grab it and stroke it. Decker a little off his game. He's got to relax. Don't try and force the issue. Here he is loading up with the mismatch, and Duke doesn't mind this. Look at the poke.
They haven't hit a shot in almost 4 minutes.
Passed up another one there, Kaminsky.
Gotta look at
Jackson. Oh, that was halfway down.
Pretty.
Put back, sailing through the lane is Decker.
That'll get you going right there, Coach.
That's what he's got to do. If you're not ringing the bell, do some damage with your activity.
Yeah, Decker's points have all been in putback situations.
Anybody staying at home.
Look at the hand. Kaminsky able to pick his pocket. And Jackson is going to drive and shoot off the glass for 2.
And Jackson definitely has this rhythm, the ability to get to the open court, get to the paint. The only guard for Wisconsin who can do that. And right now the Badgers are feeling really good as they get a run going here against the Blue Devils.
Cook. Front of the rim, pulled down Kaminsky.
And that's steal by Kaminsky. Okafor's got to protect that ball on that last trip. Be tough on a big fella. Mismatch again. This is what they did in their earlier game. Not afraid. He's free.
Kaminsky driving in, and a foul is called as well.
When you can shoot the basketball, you own people. The big fella with the blow-by, and how about the hesitation in the air to draw the contact? Frank alive and well.
And a big moment here, Rap. That's the second on Okafor. A 6-point run and a free throw. Winslow is back on the floor with 2. Okafor to the bench with 2.
And you're probably going to see a 2-3 zone for that reason. Something they've been using during the course of this season.
7 unanswered by the Badgers.
Now Frank can lay off a little bit. Nice poke by Hayes. Slide under out here.
Winslow driving in.
Kid's tough.
And all tournament long, he has made timely baskets for the Blue Devils. Right when you think momentum's going one way, Winslow's been able to deliver.
Now Frank should get inside now. Because Plumlee's a very good show guy on the ball screens.
Here he is driving on Plumlee.
There's his move.
Hayes, he's open. Has to take it. Hits it.
And Winslow with 2 fouls had to lay off of Hayes. Hayes has improved with that long-range jump shot.
Boy, he laid way off, too.
And Duke is over-helping, Jim. Got to stay more at home. Contain on your own.
Here's Tyus Jones. Swatted away by the all-time shot blocker in Badger history. Jackson driving in. Too strong with the layup.
Got to stop him.
To the corner. Allen. Now drives, puts it up for 2 more.
This kid is going to be a big-time player. Draw him. How about the use of the left in that finish? Solid.
The freshman has 6 off the bench for Duke as we swing back and forth with the lead.
And Duke right now in a 2-3 zone to protect Winslow with his 2 fouls. A dangerous team to zone, Wisconsin.
Jackson never afraid to shoot.
Pass.
What a pass. Boy, he makes up for it. Decker.
And it's hard to rebound when you're in a zone. Duke not blocking out. Decker once again finishing at the rim.
Coverage of the NCAA Men's National Championship game is sponsored by Allstate, Mercedes-Benz, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and by AT&T.
11 second chance points for Wisconsin, and as Duke goes to the zone, they don't block out, Coach. And another second chance point for Sam Decker.
Well, you're unaccustomed to playing zone as Duke is. You're going to get possibilities, but Decker, one of the best at finding holes, and that quick jack, Jim. Mr. Jackson, a little time. That's not their style.
We have had already 11 lead changes in this opening half.
Best play they run, that little curl. Jones to the rim. If you go with a little suckage, they give it back to Justice.
Make it 12 lead changes. And that one was awfully easy as Duke tries to go the final 240 with Okafor down with 2 fouls and trying to avoid Winslow, who has to stay out there now with his 2.
And that free throw line area where Kaminsky is the sweet spot against any zone.
And he is a good passer, too.
Hayes.
How about this kid?
All that.
The confidence from deep. Get them organized.
And Wisconsin's in good shape. They only have 2 team fouls. They might give some fouls. I doubt it. But they're in good shape defensively.
Allen.
Nice job defensively on Kaminsky again.
Let's see what perhaps they can set up for Kaminsky on Plumlee, who though switches off here.
Straight man this trip. Use Hayes inside, particularly with Justin, how they switch it back.
And Kaminsky's got Allen on him. He wants it.
Nice play by Allen. Oh, I thought he got a double tick.
Tipped off the hands of Duke. Coming out of this break, they'll have 11 to shoot. Nigel Hayes has 8 for the Badgers. We're up to 13 lead changes in the first half. Coming up, AT&T at the half. EJ, Greg, and the guys with their first half analysis, and the winner of the Naismith Award will be revealed coming up on AT&T at the half. The NFL MVP and a member of the Badger Nation. He's adopted the Badgers. As Decker goes back to retrieve it. Now, they put Winslow on the bench. So both Winslow and Okafor sitting here with a minute and a half to go with 2 fouls. And that's Kaminsky.
And I just love what Mike has done. Mike Krzyzewski, Okafor resting. He's right in touch with this game. You don't need him. You don't need Justice whatsoever. You got some size now with the 2 bigs in Plumlee and Jefferson. Use a little clock on occasion now. Don't be in a rush.
Bounce pass,
nice
Jefferson.
play.
Oh, what a pass, too. Tyus Jones to Jefferson.
How about the pocket pass with a little grace and style by the little guy?
31 all. Minute to play. And what's been a thrilling first half.
This slows the tempo a little bit down. You don't have to run after people. Wisconsin needs ball movement and pop to that foul line.
Koenig. Wow. Boy, that's 2 trips without Okafor and Winslow on the floor that the Badgers come up empty.
And for an experienced team, Wisconsin, you got to attack that zone. Don't settle. Moving the ball around, just shooting from the perimeter. Get in there, get into the paint, make something happen.
Mike Krzyzewski just stole those last 3 minutes,
No question.
Yep, got himself right where he wants to be, in control. He has his guys with only those two when they come back for the second half.
Well, he took a gamble there coming out of that last break and deciding to sit them both, and the Badgers don't take advantage.
When you're in touch like this, you can do those things.
Here's Cook. Over Koenig. Spins out. And now with 5 seconds. Decker looks up. He knows the time. Puts up the shot. And it's short.
And look at the defense. Almost like Kentucky against Notre Dame on Grant. 3 guys challenging that shot. They didn't stop playing.
Without a doubt, Duke and Coach K have weathered a storm with Okafor and Winslow in foul trouble. Okafor will be well rested and ready to go in the second half.
Let's hear from Coach K. Tracy's with him.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Coach, Okafor, Winslow, both with those 2 fouls. How did you have to manage that down the stretch?
Well, we have to massage this staff. Yeah, we're driving. We can't get them to foul. And they only had 2 fouls, and we're in foul trouble. And that had a big bearing on the first half. We got to play without fouling in the second half and then put them in a little bit of harm's way.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Jim.
Well, with a game that went back and forth so many times with the 13 lead changes, only fitting we go to the locker room with a tied at 31. We'll send you to AT&T at the half. After these messages, you're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
AT&T at the half is presented by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Well, how was that for a first half, boys and girls? 20 minutes in the books, right back where we started. 31 apiece in the national championship game here on CBS. Duke and Wisconsin going toe-to-toe. Welcome to AT&T at the half. Ernie Johnson, Clark Kellogg, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. Let's jump right into the highlights of the first 20 minutes of this one and see how it's played out to this point, Clark.
Well, back and forth we go, Ernie, as you see the coaches exchanging pleasantries before we get started. And Frank Kaminsky, the big fella. Okafor, I tell you what, Kaminsky has been solid. Between he, Hayes, and Decker, they've got 23 of the 31. 3 of them right there from Kaminsky. Nice work by Quinn Cook, who's had a terrific senior season. And the defense picked up, much like we saw Saturday night, midway through the first half. And defense leads to offense. Grayson Allen in transition off the turnover. The quickness of Duke in recovering, quick feet, quick hands, led to opportunities for Duke in the open court.
And 5 blocks in the first half for the Blue Devils.
Exactly. Thought they got a nice list from Trayvon Jackson, but the story, in my mind, has been second chance points for Wisconsin. They didn't shoot it that well from the floor or foul line. And I also thought, Ernie, they needed to attack a little quicker and earlier in the half court instead of trying to get a great shot every time.
And that's the size, Clark, the ability to get into the lane, finish over them is something that I don't think Duke University have seen this tournament. But overall, it's still great. There it is, offensive rebound in, but the great pace of Duke has been able to keep them in it by their guard player, Jones and Cook.
Well, I thought going into the game, I said that whoever was not going to get in foul trouble between Kaminsky and Okafor, that was going to be the deciding factor. But the truth of the matter is, Wisconsin missed a ton of free throws. That hurt them, obviously. But they did a terrific job on second chance points. They got at least 6 or 8 easy putbacks. That's the difference in the game. So right now, I would feel very good if I was Wisconsin, but they didn't play well.
Okafor and Winslow each with 2 fouls in the first half. Game tied at 31. So tell me how the next 20 minutes going to play out, Kenny.
Well, I don't think either team has established themselves offensively. I thought it was disjointed at best. You know, they were able to get makeshift baskets, but nothing where they could say this was a great offensive rhythm. And I think both teams have to push their employment. Duke, push the basketball. If you're Wisconsin, you be more versatile, penetrate from the wings with Kaminsky and Decker, get other people involved.
And if I'm Wisconsin, I'm going to push it if I'm Kaminsky. They can't guard him out on the floor. They put him in a lot of pick and rolls. He's either going to get the guard coming off or get Frank a wide open shot and have Okafor running him full speed. That always puts Okafor at a disadvantage. He pushed the ball down. First of all, he goes left every single time, just like Dirk Nowitzki. The Duke
That's only 20,000 points.
Yeah, the guys from Duke running him every time on his right hand. He goes left every time. But listen, it's going to come down to the ability of Okafor to stay out of foul trouble or Kaminsky and Decker putting their imprint on this game.
Points in the paint in favor of Duke, 20-14. Wisconsin's got to control that penetration. And then I think Wisconsin has to attack earlier in the half court and look for that first good quick shot instead of trying to get a high-quality shot late in the clock.
In Duke's first 5 games of the tournament, there were 11 lead changes total. 13 in the first half of this one. When we come back, Greg Gumbel and company.
Welcome back to AT&T at the half. Last night here in Indianapolis, the Naismith Trophy for Men's College Basketball Player of the Year, presented by AT&T, was awarded to Wisconsin senior Frank Kaminsky. The award was given to Frank by Mark Collins, Senior Vice President for AT&T Mobility.
AT&T is proud to join the Atlanta Tip-Off Club in the presenting of the premier award in college basketball, the 2015 Naismith Trophy.
From the University of Wisconsin, Frank Kaminsky.
This is such a great honor. You know, I got to thank a lot of people. First and foremost, my family who have been there with me every step of the journey. I also got to thank my teammates up there. And without those guys, you know, I don't know where I'd be. The University of Wisconsin gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. And you know, I'm just so thankful to them for everything they've done for me.
Our congratulations to Frank Kaminsky on an outstanding season and for joining all of the other great Naismith Award winners. And that is the hardware right over here that Frank Kaminsky receives, the Naismith Trophy, and in the minds of most college basketball observers, very well deserved. Welcome back to Lucas Oil Stadium, everyone. For the first time since 1988, the national championship game is tied at halftime. Kansas and Oklahoma were tied at 50 apiece. And don't forget, Wisconsin and Kentucky were tied at halftime on Saturday night. Now, let's talk about what you guys saw in the first half. Steve.
Well, we got to start with Frank Kaminsky, and obviously you get a chance to see his versatility, and I think he has to be more aggressive. I understand Bo Ryan's situation where you want to run the basketball around and take a quality shot, but opportunities. He's done a nice job defensively. He's grabbed some rebounds, 7 rebounds, but this is what I think he can do is twerk. Drive the basketball, attack, and see if you can pick up a foul from Okafor. But he's done a nice job, Reggie, and also Seth, of being able to man the paint defensively. Stay out of foul trouble is huge. He doesn't have a foul.
If you're Wisconsin, you're very fortunate to be tied at halftime, only shooting 39% from the field, but what's kept them in the ball game? Second chance opportunities. In the first meeting, they had 8 total second chance points for the game. At half, already 11. Sometimes your best offense is a missed shot and a putback, Seth. So they got to continue to attack the glass. This has been the best game in the tournament, in my opinion, for Nigel Hayes.
And some of those offensive rebounds came against Duke's zone defense, which we talked about before the game for Duke. It is absolutely huge that Winslow and Okafor made it to the locker room without picking up the third, because that means not only do they not have to be conservative on defense, they also don't have to be conservative on offense. They can drive and they can attack the post. But, you know, Wisconsin was second in the Big Ten this season in free throw shooting, and also they outscored Kentucky from the foul line 18-9. Wisconsin really depends on outscoring their opponent from the free throw line, and even though Duke's been the team in foul trouble, Smitty, right now Duke has more points from the line because Wisconsin isn't cashing in. The Badgers need to beat Duke from the foul line if they're going to win this game.
And a bright spot for the Blue Devils, Grayson Allen, the freshman, that to me has been fantastic coming off the bench.
And speaking of the free throw line, you heard Mike Krzyzewski on his way into the locker room say, we're in foul trouble. If Coach K knows it, you know that Bo Ryan knows it too.
Well, it's going to be interesting because everyone's saying feed Okafor, but it's a much tougher challenge when he's guarding Frank Kaminsky, a guy that's going to draw him away from the paint and put him in tough situations. If I'm Bo Ryan, there's no way, and I love Trayvon Jackson, but for him to have 6 field goal attempts and the player of the year only have 5 field goal attempts, it's got to be a heavy dose of Frank the Tank in the second half.
I actually thought Kaminsky was oddly passive on the offensive end for a guy who took 5 shots. He's got Okafor trying to guard him 18 seconds away from the basket. I got a feeling that Bo went up to Frank and said, big fella, win this for us. Take open threes. Drive to the basket. Go, Frank, go.
I was about to say, I bet he isn't in this half. 31-31 at halftime. 20 minutes remain to determine a national champion. We're back to Indianapolis with the second half of Wisconsin and Duke after this.
AT&T at the half is presented by AT&T. mobilizing your world.
Halftime about to wrap up as Duke comes back onto the floor. 31-31. And we'll return to Indianapolis after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Coverage of the NCAA Men's National Championship game is sponsored by UPS. TD Ameritrade. Jeep Renegade. And by Warner Brothers Pictures' Mad Max Fury Road.
Jim Nance back with Grant Hill, Bill Raftery, Tracy Wolfson. Tie game as the second half is about to commence. What do you take away from the first half and then look forward?
Well, Wisconsin's got to guard against dribble penetration. Duke's been able to get to the paint, 20 points in the paint. They got to do a better job.
I think Mike Krzyzewski massaged this. That's the last 4 minutes. I mean, he rested those guys. They're ready to go. It's going to be tough because they took their best shot, Wisconsin. They're right there.
Okafor played 12 of the 20 minutes. Picking up the 2 fouls. Kaminsky had 7 points, 7 rebounds. Okafor 6 points, 2 rebounds.
You got to love Big Frank fighting on defense, taking a charge against Okafor, getting down low, stealing the ball from the big fella, block shots, doing it all on defense. Got to be aggressive on offense.
How about you, Leo? Just keep going to the big fella. Let him run the floor, get in low post position, be able to finish and dominate. He's too big, too strong, too tough. Go to the big fella.
All right, let's go over to Tracy for a report from the Wisconsin locker room.
Thanks a lot. I had a chance to speak with Bowen Ryan coming out of half, and he said exactly what he said actually last game. He said they need to play Wisconsin basketball. They can't turn the ball over. They need to take good shots, and the one thing he'd like to see in the second half is he wants to see his team get to the free throw line more. Jim?
Well, meanwhile, the Badgers committed only 2 fouls in that first half and did not commit a turnover the last 11 minutes. We have our first tie at the intermission since back in '88. Kansas and Oklahoma, 50-50 at halftime, and it was the 50th Final Four in Kansas City. But now, here we go. 20 minutes that for the majority of these players, and maybe all of them, will never play a more important 20 minutes than what we're about to see.
Well, you've been through it. You know what it's all about. It'll be interesting to see to both of us, what does Mike do? You know, Okafor, I think, has got to touch the ball, but I think Kaminsky's got to become more offensive-minded. When Okafor's on him, when he pump fakes, put it on the deck. Don't be afraid to go by, but also look for that shot.
I agree. Kaminsky's got to hunt his shot. He's got to will his team to victory. Needs a little help, though, from Decker as well here in the second half.
Plus the guards for the Badgers, including Jackson off the bench, the 3 of them, Gosser and Koenig and Jackson, a combined 3 points total. Look at this first half by Hayes, though.
Look at this mismatch, and they have done a good job. That's what he's got to do.
Koenig set up in the corner and opens the half. Burying a 3.
Put it on the deck, Big Frank. Be a creator.
A point center out there.
That size and feel, pretty exceptional.
Koenig's first field goal of the evening. Now here's Winslow. Backing in on Koenig. He's got the size advantage and gets the shot and a foul on Koenig. Wow.
Well, he got his balance, putting that ball right in his chest. This kid, we've seen him outside and in.
Yep. Koenig was in good position, but his arms kind of came down a little bit. But Big Frank penetrating as Duke likes to help. The shooters will be open for Wisconsin.
Winslow unable to close it out. It's a 1-point lead for the Badgers.
And I think Decker will be more relaxed. Get his feel, get his flow going. He can elevate, particularly on Jones.
We talk about the difference between
nice cut.
Kaminsky and Okafor had to be careful.
Moving without the ball, Big Frank getting behind the teeth of the defense and finishing.
Koenig with a terrific look. Nice roll.
Over the top, and the pass tapped outside to Hayes.
I think it was Gosser who was one of the great help defenders.
Here's Decker taking on Winslow, no whistle.
And a 5-point lead for Wisconsin. Its largest lead of the night. Timeout 2.
You know, I love Decker taking advantage, but he may have gotten away with steps.
At halftime, Bo Ryan said, get back to playing with Wisconsin basketball. And what that is, moving without the ball, a nice little flex cut, great pass, and finish.
And how about this? I thought this was steps by Decker. Yeah, he got a lot of jump, but the power of his game and, you know, that little swing offense, swing goes the strings of my heart for the old-timer Bo.
All starters still on the floor. And this has been a strong second-half team, Wisconsin. Great move, but unable to get the payoff as Okafor.
I thought he could have used a little wilt move where he went right with the finger roll to the rim, sort of went away, which is what they teach at Wisconsin. Rise you out of the play.
This is the biggest second-half deficit of the tournament for Duke. They were down 4 early stages second half in the regional final against Gonzaga before coming back to win.
And by the way, that little offense they ran, that is the getting back to them. And run the offense smoothly. A tough shot.
And Decker misses the shot, and it's last touch by the Badgers.
This is the matchup that Duke wanted. Okafor down low on Kaminsky, backing him down, and he just missed a point-blank layup right there, but great defense by Kaminsky.
They sort of shove you out with that pass to the 10.
Okafor has not made a basket since the 10.5-minute mark of the first half.
Might be Jones' time. He's the creator. He's playing off the ball now with Cook. There's the curl play they love to run. Look at this kid. He got a hit. Nice call from the bench. And Winslow with a little bump to create.
And Koenig has his second foul, both in this half.
That play has worked well for Duke. Jones coming off the screen. Being aggressive there for the Blue Devils.
The South Regional Most Outstanding Player. A freshman from Apple Valley, Minnesota, hits the first. You can be like Charles Barkley, who knows everything about his favorite teams before the rest of his friends. Download the Team Stream app from Bleacher Report. Jones, who started for his high school team when he was in the 8th grade. Never heard of that one.
Wow. I would say he's mature.
Yeah.
We'd all like to be like Barkley Charles, wouldn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
The kid is a heady kid, though, getting back to Jones. Toughness. There's the back cut. Nice help. Look at the way they react.
Deck has not had an outside game tonight. He's 0 for 3 from 3. Meanwhile, Kaminsky challenging Okafor, who has the 2 fouls. Gets stuck. They work it around. Koenig gets around and comes back outside.
Oh, good. I shouldn't take that.
Yeah, he had the advantage over Cook, but does the drop step move? And Okafor's picked up number 3.
How aggressive was that? That's more like it. When you got talent like that, you got to go to the well a little bit. Take over. This is it. The swan song. Next year, you'll be enjoying picking up your own check.
And Okafor has to be careful. Keep your hands straight up. Don't reach in with 2 fouls there. Frank Kaminsky, though, tremendous move, and wonder if Coach K will make an adjustment, maybe go to zone to protect Okafor, but you got to go back at Frank on the other end. Make him work on both ends of the court.
Well, you saw him at halftime receive the Naismith Award. He's also won the USA Today, the Sporting News, Sports Illustrated, and the AP National Player of the Year. He hits the 2 free throws, and the lead is back to 5.
Pretty play, little bump by Winslow. Boy, poised under fire by the Dukies.
Tyus Jones appears to be the coolest of the bunch for the Blue Devils.
Nice blow by here.
Koenig has to take this one.
Tough play to Gamble. Cook turned him in.
Here's Jones spinning through. And the foul is going to be on Hayes.
A really nice understanding of what to do. Little bump right there. The derriere coming to Andy Jones to that rim. And how about this? You gamble with the reach from behind, and you pay with a little nylon by Koenig stepping up.
First foul on Nigel Hayes.
And Tyus Jones, most of the season, has been the closer for Duke. As Justice Winslow has emerged in the tournament, Jones hasn't had to do as much, but he's a guy that's capable and played big when they beat Wisconsin up early in the year in December.
Dukin comes in. He had 5 first-half points, hitting both of his shots.
And a great free throw shooter that kid is to Grayson Allen now. Give him a little punch here with some aggressive play.
As Okafor stays on the floor with the 3. Let's see if Kaminsky tries to pick up that
nice
4.
Pass.
Dumps it off Dukin. It's not there. Decker, can he hit an outside shot? That's the second air ball of the evening. 0 for 4 from 3. Allen.
Ooh, that would have been big.
Decker. And it's last touch by... Well, they were about to go the other direction, and it looked like it clearly was off Decker, who was slow to get up.
He actually lost his balance there. Could have had that easily.
So a bit groggy, slowly walking to the Badger huddle. Well, no wonder Decker was slow to get up. Took a little shot to the face.
That'll make you a little woozy right there. Elbow from Okafor. It's a physical game.
He can take a hit, that kid. Almost came up with that steal.
But he's not out there now. Here's Allen. And a foul outside. The Badgers, who committed only 2 in the first half, picked up their 4th here in the second. Let's go over to Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot. Sam Decker did not even join the huddle. He was talking to the athletic trainer for most of that timeout. They were looking at his eyes. They were checking him in at the end of the bench after the timeout. Just gave him the okay. He's back getting ready to get back in if he can.
Okay, Tracy. Second foul, by the way, picked up by Gosser, but the shot by Jones was short. And Koenig uses the body and able to bank it in.
Duke attacking more. We talked about Mike Krzyzewski working on the officials in that first half and being more aggressive, making or forcing them to make the call. Allen in particular.
Koenig with 8 for the night, 7 in this half. And here's Jones again, looking up, going in on Kaminsky. Tough shot.
Not a good judgment there. Every once in a while, you got to hit that floater. Don't contest with the bigs.
And Dukin's picked up the defensive rebound the last 2 times.
You're more about ball movement, not bouncing.
So patient, so deliberate.
Hayes. And they're taking their time with this one.
Now they're comfortable late, generally speaking.
Kaminsky with 5. Will take a long 3. Long rebound comes over to Gosser, who jumped in front because he thought Kaminsky might not get to it in time.
Got to get that one. If you do. Got a good angle on Frank. Good help by Justice in the back.
It's Koenig. Hot hand! Wow!
And he's feeling it. He had a big game in the Big Ten Conference Finals. Not afraid of the moment. The young fella, Koenig. That's your guy right there.
He's got the nickname for me. A nice use of the big guy, Kaminsky.
9.5. That's last touch by Wisconsin. And the Badgers have their biggest lead now up to 7.
Ability to turn the corner, get to the paint, coach, finish over Winslow.
And I just like that use of that screen. You can just see, once again, Okafor getting him to move, just not supplying the tourniquet. He's got to get closer and hug and help.
Koenig goes out. Trayvon Jackson in. Decker still sits. Good.
Nice pass.
To Plumlee. Puts it up wildly over Kaminsky. And Cook comes outside and hits the jumper. No. And is rebounded by Gosser.
And what a check out by Gosser. Jackson's got to play within himself and the system right now. Dribble drive late, but run the swing. Nice spin out.
That's going to be on Winslow. And it's going to be his 3rd.
And that's the benefit of the philosophy of Wisconsin. They slip a lot of different people into the box, and you're not as comfortable playing people in that post defense. Nice drop step. This kid is going to be big time next year. Well, so's he.
But I tell you, the foul situation is starting to get of great concern for Duke. Inbound. Kaminsky, 2 more.
And who was the initiator there? Gosser.
Blue Devils. This is the biggest deficit for Duke for the entire tournament. They were down 14-6 to Michigan State earlier. That was the prior. But boy, did they beat them on the inbounds pass. And Winslow again had to back off with the three.
Just poor communication there on that play defensively. And Wisconsin is feeling the momentum in their favor. Duke has got to regroup here and figure out a way to get some points here to weather the storm.
And take note, this is the first time tonight that both Winslow and Okafor are on the bench. They're going without them both with three. Remember, they stayed with Winslow with the two in the first half and set Okafor in the late stages till halftime.
And Jim, they're going to have to use a lot of screens because it's an outside game right now for Duke. Bumps, penetrate, fine.
Plumlee back out. Allen, he can shoot it.
Big, big.
Freshman. So cool.
Is he ever growing up here? Lacked a little confidence early, but plays big here in Indianapolis. Stepping up, the young fella.
First basket by the Blue Devils in 3:50.
Back screen here, pinned down. Nice denial. Oh, that should be a foul on Jackson. It is. Look at the effort by Allen. And in college basketball, this is what it's all about. You've got to get energized. You've got to show some emotion. Look at this effort. And we've seen this kid slide across this floor on Saturday, and why not on Monday? More urgent, more important when you're behind.
And how about with the two most talked about freshmen sitting, the one who was the first to sign and the least heralded, but still an All-America, has really stepped up here. Decker's back in. There's a shot. Almost dropped if it hit the top of the glass.
He's not bad right here around the rim. One nice job by Jefferson, supplying another opportunity.
That foul call against Jackson goes as a turnover as well. The first by the Badgers in 19 minutes. As Allen trying to take it on his own, and the foul.
This kid, he knew he had a mismatch. Explosion. A new star is born. Wake up, Durham. You're going to enjoy this kid down the stretch. Look at this full extension, protection. Elevate, little guy. That's it. I knew why I wanted you at Duke.
This kid right here is fearless.
Wow, what a time to step up with those two on the bench.
And that's what team is all about. Look at this trap.
Allen has scored the last 6 points in the game.
Trying to force him into a quick jack.
Hayes answers back with a three.
They knew the numbers to their advantage. What confidence. And stroked by Hayes. He wants to go again.
Can he possibly do it again? Got the foul.
You called it, Coach. They had numbers. I thought Wisconsin might bring it out. But Hayes, so confident from downtown, knocking it in to answer the Blue Devils.
Matthew Perry and Thomas Lennon. TV's #1 new comedy, The Odd Couple, after The Big Bang Theory, Thursday only, CBS. Roy Williams gave Bo Ryan his seats to the championship game, and he wanted one to be left open in honor of Bo's late father, Butch, who used to always come to the Final Four with Bo, but passed away last year before the Badgers started the first Final Four season. What a gesture by Roy Williams. And you saw the man, of course, you recognize Jim Calhoun in that shot.
Sure.
The other gentleman in the red sweater,
Ron Rainey.
Bo Ryan's high school and college coach, Ron Rainey.
Well, there he is, of course, enjoying the trip. And right now, I like what Mike Krzyzewski's doing entirely. His kids are playing great. They're aggressive, and he's resting guys with foul problems. He does not have to bring them in unless gets to, I would say, to an 8 to 10 spread. You have plenty of time left.
This team right here can defend, and they're scoring because Allen is being aggressive. Although Jefferson just drew a foul, but they got to buy time. I'd wait till maybe the 9-minute mark unless this thing gets out of control. Wisconsin getting a roll here.
And remember the last defensive set against the out of bounds, they weren't alert. They weren't sure whether they were in man or zone. That time a little better.
Second foul on Jefferson. That's Koenig.
This kid is really after Allen. I love the action. That little push off.
They got it to Hayes, unable to finish it.
Now you talk about team. These subs have really contributed in a solid fashion for Duke. Now here they come with Okafor, interestingly enough. He's got to be careful, though, and use him if he comes on the floor. That's the big thing.
Here comes Allen.
It's Allen.
He's fearless. He's got the matchup he wants, maybe Kaminsky.
Now Decker switches over to him, gives it up to Jefferson.
He can make that little jumper, Jefferson, but doesn't look for it. Ooh, tough shot. And
my goodness.
Big-time delivery. This kid, we have seen all year long at the end of games or crucial situations, he just comes through, initiates the contact, searches the number, and Mike, he's got a few days on him, but he's got a lot of energy.
Third foul on Koenig. The first Badger to have an issue.
How about these freshmen, though, for Duke? Allen, Jones, stepping up big at the big-time moment.
Bo Ryan's pointing to the monitor and says, which they can't do, but I'd like you guys to take a look at that.
No, I don't
Koenig
know.
took a shot to the jaw. You can see him trying to loosen up his jaw.
Well, that's a basketball play. Turning, I don't blame Bo. They're just trying to stem the tide, slow down the tempo. Right now, I just think Duke is the aggressor.
Yeah, I agree, Coach. We'll figure it out when we get back, Coach.
This is what they looked at while we were away.
Yeah, Coach, I agree. That's just a basketball play right there.
Well, just play on. You're taught to search the numbers. This is a gutsy kid.
And gets it down to one. Look what Duke did with Okafor and Winslow sitting on the bench.
And this puts pressure, I think, on the backcourt. You mentioned the three for Koenig. Jackson on the floor now. He's got to be solid. And don't over-dribble. Run their offense. Reverse the ball. Spread.
They were 9 down. Okafor has returned. But Grayson Allen, if they come back to win this game, they'll remember they were 9 down and they put it in his hands, and he came up with 8 unanswered on the Duke side.
And this is where I think they need Decker if they can't get it to Kaminsky. He's got to step up now.
It's been an 11-3 response by the Devils. Hayes gives it up Kaminsky.
Got to drive him.
A step back and shoot a 3 instead.
Good D by
Okafor, indeed.
Well, you help on that play. You were helping the defense by settling.
I thought Frank settled on that one. Got to attack.
Now they can come back and take the lead here, the Devils.
Use Okafor. This is a little side ball screen they love to run. Now attack. There you go. Finish.
Short with the shot. And Decker able to snatch it away from Okafor.
And that's just rhythm right there. Okafor has not been out there a lot. He's got to get his rhythm here at the end.
Look at the mismatch with Hayes and Cook. College guys just don't really take advantage as frequently as you might see at the next level.
Hayes has got to demand the ball with Cook on him.
And they dump it down to Hayes. A quick double up on him. And here's Kaminsky. The drop step.
That's his favorite.
And the 2. And the foul, number 4.
And that's the problem when you double. You get a run out on a closeout. And when you've got a guy who's effective, the length of steps, the understanding how to put people away. Whew, the ballerina, or ballet guy.
Okafor absolutely distraught as he got schooled by Kaminsky again on that old-fashioned drop step move. Kaminsky's Mother Mary. And the Badgers lead is up to 4.
And that's the problem coming back real early with a freshman, too. Particularly a big guy playing a talent like Kaminsky, who's been around, knows how to put you in the suitcase.
Winslow, here he is on the floor with 3, driving in, and it's going to go against Wisconsin's Dukin.
I don't know about that, Coach. I thought Dukin was there. We see here on the replay, Winslow trying to do the Euro step.
I agree with you, Grant, but I love the aggression by Justice. They have no fear, even with fouls, undeterred with bigger bodies.
Think how big that could have been. Could have been just seconds apart. Another Duke player picking up a fourth. But instead, Winslow will shoot a couple. This week, CBS Sports presents the Masters from Augusta National Golf Club. Exclusive coverage throughout the week. CBS Sports Network and online with Masters Live at CBSSports.com and Masters.com. The tradition, unlike any other, continues for the 60th year on CBS. One more for Winslow.
And Mike riding him coming down the stretch. He's got to be sound. Tough match with Hayes.
And for Duke, I like the matchup of Jefferson on Kaminsky. He can slide his feet and stay in front of him.
Jackson able to get it back. Short with the shot. Now a scramble for it. Jackson able to take it away.
And you got to bring it out. You got control. And use Kaminsky at the box. Now this is a mismatch with Jefferson. Don't go away. Frank likes to turn and face and use the see if they shade and help.
Dukin, quick draw and off the shot. The rebound by Cook.
I'd like Dukin to go back into Kaminsky.
I did repost. Repost. That's what they got to do.
Cook around a screen. He's got a three. Short for the lead. No.
Tough shot.
Don't need it here.
Jackson.
Nice play by Cook.
Jackson's got to be careful as Cook almost stole it away from him.
Great hustle by Quinn Cook. You know, Jackson has still missed a lot of time. He's got to learn to stay within himself. But Cook showing some desperation, some fight. Almost slid into you right there, Jim.
Yeah, no, I was ready to take the charge. As Decker comes in, Hayes gets a rest. And Koenig also comes in for Jackson.
You gotta love how Kaminsky is staying in the game here all second half.
And they got to go to him for that reason, though. He just had about 4 or 5 inches on Jefferson. Nice play.
Decker lost the handle, but into the arms of Gosser. 3-point shot. No.
Just been off.
Yeah,
Decker has been off all night.
He is 0 for 5 from 3.
He loves to. He doesn't care what fouls he has or anything. What an aggressive kid.
Had the chance to tie it. Kaminsky pulls it away, and the Badgers are back at this end, up 2.
Look at Dukin and Jones, and they don't take advantage.
Can't get it to him.
You can just elevate.
Jones able to draw the charge.
Smart kid.
On Dukin, which is his 4th. The championship coming down to the last 7.5. Duke has not led in this half. Wisconsin's big lead in the half was up to 9. You see Duke shooting 44%. The Devils shot 65% against Wisconsin earlier this season in the win at Madison, the second best ever against a Bo-coach team at Wisconsin in his nearly 500 games on the Badger bench.
And how about the free throws? They only permit 11 a game, Wisconsin. But you know what I love the most, Grant? The defense of the little people by Duke on all these mismatches. It's been great.
I agree.
Let's go to Tracy.
Thanks a lot. During that last timeout, Bo Ryan telling his team to protect the ball. They can't turn it over. He doesn't like these shots they're taking from the outside, especially Sam Decker, because he's been off all night. He wants them to drive the ball, and the number one thing he said, get the ball to Frank. Jim?
Well, that's what you guys have been calling for. Same thing as Jones is able to recover, get it back outside. Duke resets here with 15 to shoot.
Tyus Jones time.
He pull up. And yes,
ties the game at 54.
And nobody showed on the ball screen. A gamer with a monster ticker. There's his pal. Joined at the hip.
But the story here for the Blue Devils tonight, the freshman guards, Tyus Jones and Grayson Allen.
Inside to Kaminsky.
Now they got to shade and help out. The small change with the bang by Jefferson puts some pressure on you.
That's the 15th foul on Duke.
You called it right here. Poor defensive execution. You got to get out on Jones. Too easy for him at the elbow. And you know he's going to look to take over here as Quinn Cook goes out and Grayson Allen checks in for the Blue Devils.
Interestingly, with the Devils' 15th foul, Wisconsin has already committed 10 in this half. So double bonus the rest of the way for Duke.
And Cook just getting the blow. He needs one. Played great. In a good situation foul-wise.
Kaminsky on Jefferson, who has 3. Backing him in. Puts it up wildly, and Winslow is there to get it back for Duke.
Numbers.
Devils trying to take the lead. Jones again. Grayson Allen flies through. He's got the biggest vertical leap on the team when they measured that back at the start of camp. 37.5-inch vertical. Allen #1 on the Devils.
That's nice. They can reverse the ball, make the defense move a little bit, then drive it.
Koenig, tough shot. He got caught underneath the cylinder, and they've now missed their last 6 shots. Winslow taking off and going back outside.
Could have been a charge right there.
Got to be careful.
Got to be careful.
Reckless abandon.
High screen and roll time now. Tyus Jones. Duke has great spacing. Shooters out on the floor.
Everybody here can put it on the deck other than Jefferson.
Allen on a 5th-year senior, driving in on him, putting it up.
Tough shot.
And it drops again.
Great offense always trumps great defense. Allen is feeling it here in the second half. Huge spark off the bench for the Devils.
First lead of the half for Duke.
And Jefferson's got to be careful. Whacking away in the post. The way you shade and help is important. Can't get much closer.
The ball fake. Pump fake right there.
He owns them right now. That's the way to go. Feed the big fella.
And that's what Bo was crying out for in the last time out. The first basket by the Badgers in 4 minutes, 10 seconds.
You don't need a dietitian. Just get it to him. Give him a taste, a morsel.
Tied up inside the last 5 minutes of the title game.
Allen just wants to go.
Allen. Not this time. Decker holds it with 2 hands.
Now Cook's coming back in. Good move. Gets a little blow.
Decker.
Back screen. Gets him to the box. Pretty play. Big Frank provides the lift. The roadblock. The dive.
Last 4 points to Wisconsin after trailing very briefly for the first time in the half.
Kaminsky's got to get out.
Jones, that's a 3. And Duke's right back in front.
How about this kid? Ooh, did he get a little help on this one?
Timeout called by Duke.
With his buddies struggling out there, Tyus Jones is putting this team on his back, getting to the basket. Kaminsky, he's got to get out here. Tyus Jones, you know he likes to take over. But I'll tell you what, Coach, he is feeling it, putting this team on his back, trying to win.
You see those two freshmen, they have put up 24 of Duke's 28 second half points.
And you know, you've got to learn to teach ball, or helping on that ball screen a lot of different ways. I think they've got to ice it and force it one way. You can't let Jones turn the corner and drill it or get to the rim.
Or trap it.
Yeah, either one. Well, it's tough for Kaminsky to get out that far and be that aggressive.
Coming out of a Duke timeout, Blue Devils have only 1 remaining. Got the 1-point lead.
Well, look at the high-low if they want it. See, this is what I think they should do with Oklahoma. Go box to box with them.
And Kaminsky got the shot he wanted.
Credit Jefferson there with some good defense, but Kaminsky point blank just missed it. I know he wants that one back.
Well, they have fought with their post defense, Duke.
Here's Allen.
Same play.
Curling on Kaminsky. And it's going to stay with the Blue Devils. As Wisconsin tries to make an appeal, but it's going to stay with Duke out of the break. 16 lead changes in the game. O'Ryan and Mike Krzyzewski It was turning out to be a classic in Indianapolis.
Coverage of the NCAA Men's National Championship game is sponsored by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One, Lexus, the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, and by Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Let's take a look at the Capital One Cup impact performance. And here it is, Grayson Allen with 16 on the game. He averages 4 a game, 10 in the second half.
It might be Grayson balance his ability around that rim. And now with Okafor back on the floor, you've got to get it to him. Cross screen, ball screen, let him roll to the rim. Get some touches to take advantage of his presence.
And, of course, Kaminsky's tired, logged a lot of minutes. Wow, Winslow's bailed out right there, but you got to go at him.
There you go.
Okafor. And the shot drops. He did have a hold of him, Kaminsky.
They're not going to call it intentional, though, but boy, that is just great basketball. Using your head, look at the little sponge ball in that hand, a pirouette, the giveaway. There you go. And now you've got to be smart at the other end. It's going to come your way as well.
Okafor, after sitting nearly 6 minutes, comes in and immediately makes the play.
It looked like Winslow might have stepped out of bounds on that play.
And Okafor, not a good free throw shooter, and unable to cash in.
But expect Frank Kaminsky to go right back at Okafor, who has 4 fouls right now. Got to get him out of the game.
Or Decker inside, too. They ran their swing. Don't settle deep. Look at this. Ragging defensively. Excellent.
Kaminsky. Okafor wants to defend him with 4 fouls. Steps around him. Side of the glass. Gets it back with 7 to shoot. Koenig now. 5 to shoot. Got a size advantage on Cook. Puts up the shot. Never touched the rim. That's a shot clock violation. The same thing that went against Kentucky on Saturday. This time, Wisconsin. Season rundown.
An unsung hero in that trip was Cook. He got after everybody. Ended up with that errant toss. All because at the point of attack. Excellent.
Once again, you have to go back inside to Okafor. He just had success on that last possession.
They used that clock. Now, you see Mike wants to get some traffic going. Run it now.
Oof. Jones weaving, lost it, off the floor, Winslow puts it up.
Oh, look at this aggressive play.
Put back for the 5-point lead.
And it was Winslow that drew the attention, and the reaction by Okafor, magnificent.
Wisconsin still has to trust their offense. They can't rely on one-on-one play.
Koenig driving in, tried to scoop it. Doesn't fall, and it's going to Duke with 1:51 to play. Again, Ryan's pointing to the monitor. He says, you better check that.
You see what's off? They have a right for it. You are right with the dribbling and no reaction on that offensive end. Setley.
They are reviewing.
I don't know. That may be off Winslow. What do you think?
See a better angle here.
Koenig got a hand in there, too.
Big play right now.
Big play. But Wisconsin has offensively just not been able to execute here. They have to trust their offense. Wow. They've missed 11 of their last 14 shots. As it looks like.
If they're not sure, they've got to stay with their original call.
Well, that's the replay right there that had the best look at it.
I thought.
But did it touch his finger right there?
I did.
I think it did.
I think the reasons you can't go to that monitor down the stretch.
That last one, in fact, the one before that, too, the last two looked like Winslow got a fingernail on it. Let's put it that way.
I agree.
Right there.
It's a big call right here for the officials.
And they have to be convinced in order to change it. Total affirmation. I thought he just got it there, too. Right there, I see it change direction.
Yeah. This is the one right here, I think, that gives it maybe the best look.
Yeah.
Oh, those fingertips.
Fingertips, yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh.
Wow.
He needed a Manny.
You believe that? Look at this.
Forget the penny. He needed the Manny.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Oh, they're going. They don't believe it was convincing.
You didn't see anything. Can't see. Okay.
They couldn't tell, so they had to stick with the call, and now you got to stretch it out. You got to play really solid defense.
They came over to explain, just to clarify, that they just couldn't see anything, is what the officials said.
And this is not a team that really traps, other than maybe a trap at half court if you do a ball screen. So this will be milk time for Duke, and try and get something done with maybe 15 to 13 seconds. Don't get stuck late.
Wisconsin's solid. They got to get a stop here and, of course, execute on the other end.
Now here it comes. I think you can go under this far out.
Tyus Jones launches the three. Oh, this kid is on his way if they win it to MOP. If they win it.
Onions by the little guy. Woo, what a Valentine.
They have scored the last 10 points.
You want to stay at home. Don't gamble if you're cooked.
Kaminsky.
And he set that up by the gamble.
They had to have it, and he knocks down the three.
Woo. A reverse saute.
Champion is about to be crowned, and right after the game, get your official championship gear. Get locker room tees, hats, and more at the official championship store of the NCAA, ncaa.com/shop. How about this kid right here? How gutsy.
Talk about stepping up right there, Coach. But on the other end, Kaminsky answering him from deep.
Yeah, Cook had made the game a little nylon, but a big guy. Look at this run out. You don't need it, though. You don't need it.
No foul call, and Wisconsin suddenly has new life.
Go to the rim or get the touch to the big. Don't settle deep.
Koenig, no look pass, and Hayes dumps it down with 50 seconds to go, and it's a one-possession game.
The clock is on your favor if you're Duke.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to stay. Hayes got a hand on it. Gossard, did you see him go flying through at one point trying to steal that inbounds pass? The last 5 points here to the Badgers.
What a great look. Penetration, fine. Back cut, they're good at that. Face guarding. Let's see if they're going to turn them back. They got a perfect trap here. Timeout.
Smart play.
That's the last one for Duke.
That is it for Duke. As they had Okafor on the bench. Remember, he's not a good free throw shooter, so they had him out.
And it hurts defensively. No question about it. 28 seconds to go. Stretching this game out. The advantage to Duke is the great shooting, around 88% for the two guards. Matt Jones at 72%. So, you know, this is one of those trips. I think you got to play one more set defensively. Would you agree with that?
I agree. It's a one-possession game right now. Solid defense. Try to get a steal maybe. But if you can get one good stop right now, go the other end if you can try to get a basket, tie the game.
Raft, why did they go for the home run ball?
This is just not a good call. And not so much the play, but the layup. And, you know, you're dealing with a very emotional period of the game, and even a point guard with a great sense and value of the basketball. You really wanted to get it in and then make that judgment. Unless there's nobody there, bring that baby out and just run the clock, control the game.
You've been in that huddle years ago. What is Duke going to try to do with this possession right here? We've heard about Wisconsin's strategy defensively. What do you think, Grant?
You execute the inbounds out of bounds play first and foremost. Get the ball, and I think Tyus Jones are going to be a play, maybe a ball screen to get him open and let him do what he's been doing all second half. Knock it in.
There's a perfect trap again.
Matt Jones.
They're going to give it.
They didn't need to foul, I don't think.
Well, they wanted to. I guess they stretched the game out. Different value, different thought.
But you're going to put on the line the top free throw shooter in the Atlantic Coast Conference and the second best free throw shooter out of all the freshmen in the land this year, Tyus Jones.
At some points you don't have a choice. Plus, pick your poison with this crowd. I mean, these are terrific shooters by and large.
This is a kid that texted Coach K after Duke's loss to Mercer last year in the first round of the tournament. He texted him and said this won't happen next year.
Amazing. How about that confidence? And he walked in and took over that point job, and right now directing them to the ultimate. Look at this.
Hits them both.
And now you want to push if you can if you're Wisconsin. Defensively, make them use time and do not gamble if you're Duke. Go to the rim with the dribble or get Big Frank at the rim.
Duke can foul him, too, because they have only 5 team fouls.
And they may do it.
It's Allen on Kaminsky. His time's running down here. Koenig, and there's the 4th on Winslow, but again, it's only the 6th team foul.
And Wisconsin's a team that doesn't play fast.
No,
so this doesn't work in their favor. They're a team that's very methodical, so they got to quickly get to the basket, set up their defense, and try to get a steal off the inbounds play.
20 seconds remaining. Got to do something in a hurry.
Nice defense here.
Koenig.
Tough shot.
Nice, well short. Yeah. Winslow has it, and he's fouled.
Frank Kaminsky, you can see the disappointment as he walks to the other end. Again, I think all game long, too much dribbling for a Wisconsin team that's so conscious of ball reversal, spreading the D, and reacting. And, reality.
You have to
setting it.
Give credit to Duke's defense. They've kept the intensity. They've helped each other and really made it difficult as Winslow misses for Wisconsin to run and execute their offense.
And Jim, I think one of the biggest things is how Mike Krzyzewski at the end of the first half massaged to the end to hang tough, and the rotation with all the foul problems down the stretch. Extraordinary.
Got to score quickly here. Yeah. Badgers. Koenig looking for help. Decker.
They're going to run him off the 3 if they can.
Bounces out to Koenig with 3 seconds. Is going to run out of time, and the Blue Devils are the national champions of 2015. National championship number 5 for Mike Krzyzewski.
How impressive is this end of the season run by this magnificent coach? All the accolades, so well deserved. Not the best Duke team from my seat, but as big a heart as any of the championship teams I've seen him have.
I agree, and Coach K, 29 years ago, his first final game, his ability to adapt and adjust, get the most out of his young players, the leadership from Quinn Cook, Mama K there celebrating. Just an unbelievable tournament performance by Coach K and his young Devils.
Tyus Jones with 23 points. 19 in the second half. 19 of Duke's 37 in the second half.
This guy goes from leisure suits to sport coats to business-like apparel. The test of time. Amazing what he's been able to do with this program.
Well, it was a season that had so much historical significance for Coach Krzyzewski. He got that 1,000th win back in January. First ever in Division I. Now he has his 5th national title and the 3rd time he's been able to achieve that right here in Indianapolis.
Amazing. They used to call it Naptown, not for Mike.
He's not ready to retire, by the way, but down the line, Maybe they'll want to retire here.
Why not? They know him well.
What a second home. Stay tuned for the Inside March Madness show presented by Buick on True TV.